IVM.
Hi everybody, just wanted to ask everyone for a quick favor. We're running a brand survey right now and would really appreciate it if you could let us know what you think about the advertising on IVM. Go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and do let us know. As part of this, we'll be selecting 10 random participants and sending them some IVM swag, so do fill out those surveys.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with garbage. Did you know that there was a 9-day garbage collectors strike in New York? And this happened in 1968 because the Uniformed Sanitation Men Association, which is, I think, cutely called the USA, wanted to increase its salaries and a contract for working. So, threatening to strike is one thing, and actually going on strike is something completely different. The leader of the USA, that is the Sanitation Association, not the country, was only using the strike to bring some leverage and force the mayor into a $400 increase in annual salaries. However, the workers were not happy with just $400 and wanted $600, and they actually went on strike, which was completely illegal at the time. Now, in the last few years, there have been a lot of talk about essential services, right? Essential service workers. But we don't realize just how essential the job of the garbage pickers is. The streets of New York overflowed with garbage. It was in the streets piled up. The smell was so strong that people were falling sick, especially with New York streets, which are designed as a grid. So the wind would come in and blow the smell right through the streets. Well, let's just say it was a mess, to say the least. And these garbage worker strikes can bring cities to their knees. I was inspired to write this podcast because recently I attended a talk by a lady from an organization called Waste Warriors. And they were cleaning up garbage that tourists and trekkers throw in national parks. Some of the images she showed us were just crazy. Piles of garbage. It's quite insane. Now, our national parks are our treasures. They are unbelievably beautiful, unbelievably delicate. And the waste affects the water systems, and that affects the plants and animals. On the way back from this last trek that I was on, we were given waste picker bags and these picker handles, and we went picking up waste. It was insane the number of wrappers that had been thrown. Chewing gum wrappers, potato chip wrappers, glass bottles. It was just insane. That waste warrior lady in the talk said something very, very hard-hitting. She asked the audience if anyone knew the name of the person who picks up their trash. And I realized that I had not even considered finding out. She then went on to say, we call them garbage people, or in Hindi, kachrawalas. But in truth, it is us who are the people generating the garbage. We should be called the kachrawala, and they should be called the cleaners. Safai karne wale. Many years ago, I was listening to another lady talking about garbage, and she had won a presidential award for the work she did on garbage awareness. She said something very, very important that has stayed with me all these years. If people only treated their garbage like it was their property, we would not have so many environmental issues. Just think about that. And it was so true. When you buy something, that wrapper is part of what you own. When does it stop being yours and your problem? Imagine if we took as much interest in the wrapper as we did in the chewing gum or the potato chips that were inside. Imagine if we took as much interest in the cardboard boxes that we got from Amazon as we did in what we got in those cardboard boxes. We would carefully put it away and make sure it was properly used. I remember as a child when I was growing up, it was perfectly normal to throw things on the road. Everyone did it. We would throw things from the balcony, from our car, or while walking. It was a habit. And I was taught that there is a garbage person for a reason, and by tomorrow the streets will be swept clean. You know, sometimes I wish I could go back in time and realize this mistake. But like I always say, that the habits in the past have brought you to where you are now. If you want to get to somewhere else and grow, all you have to do is change your habits. So your super simple habit starts by becoming aware of your trash and asking your trash collector's name. Then start by owning your trash. Treat your trash as if it was your property. Start taking great pride in your trash. Segregate the wet food and waste. Use it for composting. Try segregation for recycling. And I know that our recycling system is not perfect currently, but the technology is improving. Get into the habit now for the future. And if you ever want to know what life would be like without the trash magically disappearing every morning, just Google images of the New York sanitation strike. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
Hey everybody, it's been a great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus's, actor and author Kalki Kekla talk about her amazing new book, Elephant in the Womb. As Cyrus and Kalki go through some funny illustrations in the book, Kalki brings up what people don't talk about when it comes to pregnancy. On The Habit Coach, Ashdin explains an interesting perspective on the Teflon mindset. On Smarter with Sid, Siddharth debates whether thrift stores will remain a niche thing or accepted by the Indian masses. On Press Decode with Vagda, Sareen, and Sarah, they discuss how India dropped by 7 spots in the latest Global Hunger Index rankings. On Hansvani, here's this fascinating story. It's titled Helium and it's written by Lalit Karthike and narrated by Casey Shankar. Man, it's such a really, really good thing. Definitely check that out. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Slay Coffee, Intel, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Oxfam India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
A wise man once said, traveling, it makes you speechless, then turns you into a storyteller.
Well, listen to such travel stories and experiences exploring India on the Musafir Stories with us, Saif and Faiza.
Catch us on the IVM website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.